Good morning, tubers. Welcome back for another adventure. So this weekend contains some flea market adventures, and one has to like that. I was fighting the rain both at Morningstar and Williams Grove, and as an example, this came from the guy with the big storage cubes, the containers from overseas. He bought the business and he's kind of like selling the containers out. So a lot of this stuff is not replaced. I just opened up one. This is a PZ27. He gets me for $10 each on them, right? I like the manual choke better. And you guys could see I bought 3 of those, right? So there was the first 30. These guys were $10 for the pair, 2 left hand. I'm kidding, right? You know, lefty, righty. They're LED. I kind of like them, you know, put them on a Project Heart to kind of bling them up a little bit. This came from a woman that was selling off her stuff at half price, and then she gave me a deal. They were supposedly $6 each. She gave me the pair for $5. I bought 2 of these. I figured they might be good for seats. You know, my buddy Steve, he does all-terrain vehicle seats, so I bought 2. I bought one for me, and I bought one for him. See if it works, right? If it doesn't work, you throw it in the bottom of the toolbox and you ignore it. But I figured maybe it'd be good for stretching the vinyl when you make seats. These also came from the half-price lady, right? Just in case I get attacked by a bear, and you know, for $2.50 the Apple accessories. This was a Morningstar guy that was getting wet, just kind of selling stuff off. I gave him $7 for the Dremel. It looks like it wasn't used. These are Morningstar also, and like 50 cents for a bag of fuses, automotive fuses, you know. And then after that, she gave me a deal on it. So I got all these bags of loose stuff, including these. These are bits for the Dremel, right? And the roach clip pliers. All that, I think I ended up only giving her $6. I think it came up to 10. And I said, and that's your best price? And she dropped it down to 6. So I bought that on the last flea market visit. So while I was out on this flea market visit, I really wanted to get, you know, my holes filled in, 12, 13, 18, 19. So I was fishing around. That's from Morningstar. It was $5 from the really cranky guy up on the hill. This is actually a real Jacob Chuck, right? Multi-craft, Jacobs USA. So I wanted that for a project that I have in mind. This is one of those screwdrivers that goes in the kit, HM Honda Motors. So you know, you can pull the bit out and flip it around, assuming it wasn't rust seized. 8 and 10, the most common, right? And then 19, 18 and 19, which will fill these 2 holes in here. So this was 5. This was another 5. Amp check, right? Seems that all my feeler gauges have taken to being missing, and hopefully that's a 15, 14. That's a 12, which will go in here. I think all I have left is the 13, and this thing will be full, which makes me happy. But now that this is full, I'll show you. I found another whole set. So I was on my way out from Williams Grove. It was raining at this point, and I ran across a couple of different people that had some stuff that interested me. This guy here was closing up for the season, so you see 10 and 3 and 5 and whatever that Arnold costs there. So this is made in America. This is a Craftsman, right? A lot of times those are handy for carpeting, perhaps. Anyway, so all of this was 8. He just kind of wanted to pay his rent so he could get the heck out of there. And this stuff was $1. You know, this is the rest in peace and flashing light bulb that flashes, and you know, a set of lights. So anyway, those four were $1. So this pile of wonderment came from the Amazon woman, and I think she got me, I think it was around $25 for all of it. $20, something like that. This is one of those, I mean, some people use them for Halloween, but it's a LED flicker bulb. I picked up a pair of those. She had $3 on those. I paid less. The batteries were 6 for $5. They're the Amazon version of the alkaline battery. Mouse bait. These are the blocks that you actually like attach to the corner there. And the mouse doesn't have any choice but to chew on them. Sometimes when you put the bait out, they kind of carry it away and don't eat it, you know, the loose pellet bait. So that's a little more effective. I gotta tell you, when I was a kid, I would love these, right? You put a bulb into it, a small flashlight style or a twist-in style bulb, and then anyway, a whole bag of those. Once again, all the Amazon lady, $25. Fan, I just grabbed that. She has these big bins, and you kind of dig through them, and you pick out what you want. You make a big pile, and then she tells you what it's going to cost you. Gas cap, I'm not quite sure what it goes to, but top of a cell phone every once in a while, these seem to get broken. The knob, lever, wrench thing. A lot of times these things are like 50 cents or $1. These guys here were separate from the Accurite, but they go together. I didn't put batteries in it. These guys need batteries too. They tell you what temperature when you're cooking a steak, hamburger, chicken, whatever. They're handy. I'm not sure how she ends up with these electronic components. These are push buttons, right? This is a cell phone battery and cover. Looks like it'll fit my Apple, not the battery. The battery is just a lithium ion. But once again, if you're picking this stuff up for, I mean, count the number of pieces here. And let's say I gave her $25. How much should I actually give her for the loose bits? Almost nothing. I don't know how you guys are with cell phones, but it seems like, you know, like that's a headphone adapter and headphones and, you know, the USB chargers. Seems like all this stuff is always disappearing. I'm not quite sure if my, you know, sons don't bring one when they visit, so they kind of use one and then it goes home with them, or my wife wants every outlet this side of the Mississippi with one of these things in it and a wire hanging from it, because it just seems like it's time to plug in my phone and I can't find one. So whenever I see them cheap, I just pick up a whole horde of them. By the way, the Amazon woman is at Morningstar if anybody wants to go deep. I picked up a wireless sensor. Last time around I got the big box panel, you know, this guy, the actual real display. And now the bins were low enough where I can find the remote sender for them. Once again, if you're paying $1 for this, or 50 cents or 25 cents for it, you know, you try to put things together. This thing is interesting. It's a motion LED, right? You can picture hanging this on the wall. Someplace you got to walk at night, a hallway or whatever, just to kind of make sure you don't step on the cat. This is, I believe this locks and unlocks doors, right? You put the power to it and it does that, and then you put the power to it the other way and it does that. So I believe that's for doors. These guys here go underneath car doors, right? This actually goes on the corner and it shines a light on the ground, so when you open up the car door, and then this part is outward, so somebody approaching you doesn't flatten you and tear the car door off your car. These are the same things, but they just do lights. Once again, most of this stuff was like pennies. And let me show you my favorite deal. A guy had one of these fill-a-bag deals for $5. I just love that. I can't stay away from those. I just go and I start filling a bag, and it's amazing how much stuff I could get into a bag. So let me show you that hoard. So I was handed this little red bag, and I was told, fill it for $5, or fill it, pay $5. And this is what I got in there. I mean, is this a crazy amount of stuff? And what I like to do when I'm going to do such a thing, I like to take a quick look through the stuff to see if I could get one item that's worth $5 or something around $5. And then everything else I kind of throw in there is for the joy of just loading a bag full of junk. So mostly as you go through, I've been thinking about putting one of these mirror expanders on my truck. So that's the major part of $5. If it wasn't that, if I cut the cord off this heater, considering there's a fuse in line there, I mean that inline fuse and the cord is worth the major part of $5. Or even though this thing of mini fuses is crunched up, I bet you that's probably worth the major part of $5. So anyway, y'all can see I really loaded the bag. Some things I picked up just because they were interesting. Trailer seals. By the way, all this stuff comes, these are returns from truck stops, right? There's a guy at the market who gets all the returns first, and he kind of sorts through them, and he lets fly a lot of the more valuable stuff, right? You know, things where the containers are messed up or, you know, battered a little bit, right? He kind of gets those, and he puts those out for $1 a piece. And after he finishes doing that, he takes what's left over, the bins and boxes, he puts them out in 4 by 4 by 4 foot deep boxes. He cuts a little bit off the top, puts it out in that. But gradually you end up with a bunch of stuff in the bottom of the box that nobody wants. That's what this is. He sells those boxes to another guy who pays him like nothing. I think like $5 a box for him. And then that guy puts them out for the red bag sale, right? Fill the bag for $5. And that's what this is. I've also bought quite a bit of stuff, quite honestly, just like this, for 6 for $5, right? You guys can see the alarm clocks that are in this. This is a thermos that you can plug into your lighter there, your 12-volt plug, and heat up some water, make yourself some coffee on the road, right? Foam weather stripping. These are all the tapes to kind of fix your tail light, right? LED tail light. That's typical. There's a bunch of these Velcro things. Both sides are sticky, and then you can Velcro down like your alarm clock if that's what you wanted to do. This is one of those lacrosse things, remote temperature sensor, and that's a lacrosse also. Though I have the temperature sensor for that, I think there's other lacrosse units I have that don't, so that's handy. I don't know what the screaming meanie is. I think, don't know, but I think what it is you set a time on it and you leave it someplace, like under your best friend's seat if you're a truck driver. You walk away and when it goes off, he gets launched. You know, thing to rub your back with. That's a freezer thermometer. I feel as if it'd be good in the garage. It does go up to 85. If it wasn't in the sun right now, it wouldn't be pushing it so much. I mean, various adapters. Once again, that's a whole hoard of tape right there. This for taking, I'm not going to use it to baste turkeys. A lot of times for fishing oil out of a rear axle or something like that, or you can use it kind of as a funnel or some way of monitoring how much gas you're using. This light hangs, it's, you know, LED light, and if you pull the string you hear it click. I thought that was kind of a cool item just for the sake of it being a cool item. So anyway, once again, never ever hand a bag to a hoarder and tell them to fill it up. You'll be amazed how much they could get in there. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the only pipe a guy had in the size. He's currently at Williams Grove, but I guess he does all the car shows, and you've probably seen him around. He's got like all these exhaust pipes, all the different sizes with the bends and so forth. And then you could kind of cut them up and make yourself a custom exhaust system, right? You cut and re-weld, or you take a bunch of prefab bends and you kind of put them together. This is all he had in, I call it all-terrain vehicle size, right? This is kind of more of the 250 ES size. But I figured for couplings, for pieces of coupling and all, I gave him $5 for it. He wanted 10. He went down to 5 as we were standing in the rain and he was getting wet and I was ignoring it. So, once again, for little couplings, I figured it'd be handy. Well, that's about all of it. That's about all I brought home. Now, I got to gradually integrate this stuff into the hoard, put it away such that I can find it again. That's always my biggest trick. So in the meantime, until I get out to a flea market again, and God knows when that'll be, I need you all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I need you all to get out there and enjoy each and every day. Get out, have some fun, go to a flea market, buy junk you don't need, fill a red bag with it. Remember, once again, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.